All right, welcome to Paladins Season 7, the Wild Horde update. There's a lot to cover and not enough time, so we're just going to get straight into it. So, welcome to the PTS. First big thing you'll notice, Trials of the Realm is back. Now, you have a bunch of quests here, and you can go here for your standard quest. You can scroll through these in your free time. I'll quickly show them on stream. Not stream, but in the video, and you can pause anytime you want and check out the stuff and the quest. I don't know if this will be exactly what we need, but that is stuff that we're going to be doing. So back to the past, we now have 36 tiers instead of 20, which is an amazing change. You will notice that there are no skins displayed. It's all chests. All of our items that we're going to be getting through this pass are going to be the chest related ones. So go to the chest right here. You'll see that there are some of them. So the first one you notice is the Avatar's chest. We have a Drogo's one, a Grovo's one, and then a one that's just fire. Pretty cool. The other ones I already opened outside of the video to show you guys. But then there's the skins. And it's a little buggy at the moment. The Grovo's skin that's displayed is quite broken, to put it lightly, and a little hollow. But you can't actually open this. You can't see the skins. I'm assuming they're not finished, and we'll see them at a later date. In terms of the other stuff, we go here. We have this little death card for when you kill somebody. It's a cool little Grovo's image. The end screen, it didn't actually give me the chest for it. My guess is it's actually this one at the very bottom, the Ray Pumpkin Patch, solely because this one is locked. I can't actually purchase it compared to the other ones. I could be wrong about it, though, and it could just not be that. But to my knowledge, it's most likely that one. In terms of the death stamp, there is one death stamp you get. It is the effigy one, I believe. Another thing I'm not 100% certain about because it didn't give me the chest for it. So there's a high chance it's effigy. Another one is the spray. We get the new Jace spray, which is available from the pass. And then the next stuff, well, it didn't give me any mounts from what I saw, but there is a loading frame right here. I can't pull it up, sadly, but it is going to be this right here in the top right. It looks gorgeous from first glance. I think it's pretty. It's nothing too fancy, but honestly, in my opinion, if you've seen the ranked borders, you know. If you know, you know. In terms of titles, I didn't see anything that looked new. Maybe it's this one, the Shiny Hunter one. I could be wrong, but I haven't noticed anything crazy. And that covers all the big stuff. I would show you the skins, but for someone like Omen, you know, it's not actually here. I'm assuming it's not even in the game yet, so you can't actually access these. But outside of that, cover the next stuff in a second. So welcome to the shooting range. First thing you're gonna notice, this icon changed. Yeah, new icon. Cool stuff. Same thing, different icon. This is gonna be new for a new LTM coming out soon. They did leak that in the patch notes, but outside of that, the big change everyone wants to see is this. So a lot of changes. First thing is Illuminate is obviously gone. It does not exist. You cannot get Illuminate anymore. Tier 1 Illuminate has been worked into base kit, so anyone in Viz you'll be able to see. However, if they're not next to you, well, good luck. Outside of that, we do have Unbound, Sentinel, Arcane Warding, and then Armor Plating, and then Guardian will be here soon. You can't actually select it. Unbound, well, you can check all the stuff in the PTS if you want to see like the specifics. These are all pretty good. The newest ones being Trigger Scent, Meditation, Life Rip got a rework, Bloodbath, Veteran got a boost. Let's see what else is there. Horde is new. And then Nimble got a price decrease. Armor Plating is separated from Haven. Arcane Warding is the opposite side of Haven. So instead of abilities and damage from M1s, it's going to be separated now, instead of Haven being combined, with a little bit of a price difference. And you can check out the details in the patch notes. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. It's pretty interesting. You were still locked into 4 slots. So you can only get 4. But that is what you have access to now. All right, Caspian, we all knew it would happen. We were not surprised. Some big changes, main one being the ammo is being changed. What you're seeing right now is actually just a clip of prior to the change. This is current. This is not PTS. All right, here we are in the PTS covering Caspian, and you can automatically see the 200 damage decrease, and now we're consuming 2 ammo a shot on our Love, which is our pistol, which is honestly a huge change. Measured cadence now costs 4 ammo, which is why it's shooting every second shot of the pistol, and you have to now slice 4 times to get something out of the sword. It's honestly a huge nerf. We expected this. No one's surprised, in all honesty. All right, so the next big thing we're going to see is the ult. You can see here proccing on the Fernando. You're going to see 800 a tick, but honestly, you get that 5 shots, it lasts a while. You deal 4,000 damage. It's a lot. And back in the PTS, you'll see the exact same thing. You can see the exact same Fernando. You'll see it's ticking down way faster, but now we're dealing 700, taking it from 4,000 a shot now to 3,500 a shot. All right, now for one of the saddest nerfs in the entire game, we are losing the range buff of our sword on Heft. Honestly, the range is insane. If you're seeing this, you can just see how crazy it actually was, and it's sad we had to lose something like that. All right, here in the PTS, you can already tell, yeah, the range is severely nerfed, and it's tough to see, but it is what it is. You can no longer cross-map people with your sword. It's kind of sad. All right, so the next buff is Kasumi to her jump, which is kind of a weird one, but honestly, she's gone from a ground flank to somebody that can actually get some kind of vertical mobility. Now, this is kind of map dependent, but in all honesty, this is a good change, and it's actually pretty healthy for the character. And the next champion is Khan, which got a pretty interesting buff. So here we are in the non-PTS. You'll see I'm aiming right over the victor's shoulder, and the ult does not hit. Also notice I'm standing at the 250 mark. This kind of plays a hand in his range nerf to his ult, but you'll see when I'm pinpoint accurate on the chest, it is actually a grab. Now onto the PTS, you'll see I'm standing in the same spot and I aim over his shoulder, don't hit anything. Pretty interesting, right? So now I'm going to back up, get another ult, and go to the 230 mark, and then watch. I aim over his shoulder, boom, you hit the grab. It's no longer a perfect line, it is now a cone. So same thing again, get my ult back, turn around, I can look straight above this victor, above his shoulder, not hitting him, and still grab. So it is now a pretty wide cone that gives a lot of leniency when going for your ult. You'll see again and again and again, I can just aim over their shoulders a pretty good amount and still hit my ult. All right, welcome to the non-PTS with Koga. And you see I drain my stamina, I go for some shooting, I get about 1 bar back. We were at the 160 for 1 energy point, which is honestly not a lot. Then we go to the PTS where it's at 120, and honestly, it really doesn't change much. The buff is good for shooting shields and such, but as it is right now, that doesn't help the player that much any. On to the claw portion, you'll notice that claws do not pierce. However, once we go into the PTS, they are piercing now, and it does a really good amount of damage. And here is the speed change. Even though the right side does get a little bit of a head start, you will quickly notice that there is a big difference. Do not mind the energy drain, that is just a difference in build, but you'll notice that the right side finished almost a full 3 seconds before the other one. It is a 25% increase and a big one. And then another big change straight into Leon. You'll notice I'm standing at the 160 mark, getting 400 damage a shot. I back up just a tad to show the effective range. We are at 399, so now we get damage fall off. And then let's go into the PTS. I'm sorry for the skin that I'm using. The gun is gigantic. You'll see I'm doing 450 now, and I'm standing at the 160 mark again. But you'll notice when I take a step back past the 160, I actually deal 449. So this is actually bugged. And just to show it one more time, the 449 at the 160 mark, kind of disappointing, but it is supposed to be 125 instead of 90. And on the topic of monstrous damages, here we are on Omen. This is the pre-PTS, so the nerfed version after he's been kind of thrown in the mud. And this is at +1 on more. You'll see I'm only down to 6 ammo, and I'm not dealing that much damage. But here is the PTS version of more. You'll see the ammo count has gone to 2, which is a huge change. Now +1 of the card minuses 10 ammo, and every point increases it by 1. I'm going to go back to the standard game. You'll see at +5, I'm now at 2 ammo, and I'm shooting from range. And this is current Omen. I'm not using the talent because it is gone. It is nerfed, but this is what you get from good range. Now for the PTS on +5, this is where things get a little crazy. We've kind of just regressed back into extremely strong Omen. I don't think it's going to be nearly as powerful as Umbral Lance, but here we are, and yeah, it's monstrous. It's fantastically strong. I wouldn't say it's meta, but it's definitely up there. Alright, so off of the damages, we're on the flanks. You'll see the damage increase from 125 to 150, and here we have the notes. You can pause if you'd like. It's a whole list. But you'll see the effective damage range of the full auto, and then this is the max range. You'll see the damage fall off only goes to about that much. And here we are in the PTS now. We are at 235, which is the damage increase, but you'll notice I step back 234, and I'm at the 140 mark now, so you can tell that the range is a little bit shorter. But once we get to the max effective range, you'll see the damage tank pretty hard, all the way up to about 71 until he dies, which is kind of disappointing, but you know, you can't snipe with it anymore. On the mag dump, you'll see the 450s. This is pre-PTS, so current version. I back up a little. You'll see me do about 200-ish to 75-ish in that range on the mag dump. This is very close, but now this is PTS, mag dump, 450 point blank, and then I'm going to scoot back to about the same area I was, and you'll very quickly see that all of a sudden, we're still doing 450. This is a huge change and a very good one. So now for the new talent, you can see it pulls, this pre-PTS, this is PTS. You'll see I have 2 charges of it. The pull is completely normal, and I don't have the cooldown. It's from 9 to 7, but it is no longer like that. And on the topic of cooldowns, rip the homie spring loaded. It lost its 30% decrease in cooldown reduction. Probably the only reason it was a viable talent has been completely gutted. All right, so for the ROM changes, you'll see this is pre-PTS, and it doesn't really look much different, but you'll see that the soul armor actually ticks away way faster than it will in the PTS, but it basically disappears, and then all of a sudden you're healing under cauterize. But straight onto that to the PTS, you'll notice that once we start firing at each other, all of a sudden the armor starts kicking up really fast actually, and it holds pretty steady under continuous fire until eventually it does level out and then levels with our max HP, and then we start healing that 140, which is cauterized opposed to the uncauterized in the beginning. All right, so up next is Sky getting a damage nerf from 130 to 115. Right now we're in pre-PTS doing 130 a shot, and then we'll be changing to PTS right about now. And you can see the classic 115 a shot. It's not too much of a nerf, but with the Illuminate changes, honestly, she is still going to be somewhat viable. All right, so onto the term buff, you'll see that on the right side, we have the Calamity Charge, which is the PTS notes, and then the left, which is non-PTS. You see the right side is already full, while the left side is still slowly making its way to the top. Honestly, a really good change. And onto Tyra, you'll notice that she's going from 2 marks down to 1 mark. Doesn't kill the talent, but it definitely makes it not nearly as strong as her other talents. All right, now to my favorite champion, Vora. This is a big change. A lot of her damage was in her DOT, and now it is being turned into her base damage, and she's losing some of her DOT damage. So you'll see here, I did 1 on each of the NPCs, and then on this one I did a full, and then on this one I'm going to do a full combo. So that is a killing combo, and then onto the PTS. You'll see each one now is dealing 10 tick damage, but higher base damage. And then we move on to the next Victor. You'll see a full combo. It gets into about the same HP, but he's still a little bit above. And this is a killing combo. Right there, it is just enough to kill. All right, Willow is getting a buff to Blast Flower, going from 80 stacking 3 times to 100 stacking 4 times. You'll see the max on that Fernando is going to be around 740 damage. However, in the PTS, we're going to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 900 damage a shot. All right, we all knew what happened. Ying is in fact getting nerfed. She has lost her true healing, which right here, this is pre-PTS. You can see the 2 healing numbers, the 45 and the 75, racking up to the true healing. To now it is going to be 1 flat number, but now you get 1 second of CC immunity once the ult is activated, and it is basically like a Koga dash. So in other words, a pretty good cleanse. All right, this is the end of the video. We've covered all the big things in my opinion. There are a bunch of small things I did, kind of like the Kasumi changes. to being able to see, you know, Kasumi through walls, and then the hits showing on your screen a little bit better. Even the cast being changed, going from a stun to a slow, which is a big one, but honestly, I didn't feel it was as impactful as some of the other ones. So we're going to keep this kind of short. I do stream on Twitch. Check that out. I'll put that in the description. Also, if you want to check out more videos, highly recommend you subscribe, do that kind of thing. And I will put the PTS notes in the description. I highly recommend you go and check that out. That way you can see the things I didn't cover and the things I didn't go that in depth on. Again, thank you, and I wish you guys the best.